Welcome to Landria Anka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. I want to hit a subject today that is so critical to you changing your life and going after what you want. All right, this is critical. This is a discussion that is probably not going to be a surprise to you, but I really want to simplify it and maybe help you break through some fears and start living the life that you want. Because you're probably not living that life right now. Most of us aren't, right? Hold on. It's very early here in Atlanta. You know, sometimes I just get like so overwhelmed with these ideas and wanting to help people, and I'm just going to keep going until the day I take my last breath on this planet. And then, of course, I will continue on in whatever energy form I'm in on the other side to continue my quest to help people break through their self-limiting barriers. And they are self-limiting. And when you find yourself giving excuses for things in your life that aren't going well, you've got your answer right there. If you are making excuses about why you're in a situation and it entails, well, you've had a bad year, or something happened here, or somebody did something to you, or you don't know what I've been through, you're doing it. Because everyone has a chance to react to every situation differently than they are. And if you're not reacting in a positive manner that's progressing you to the next level, if you're not using those experiences to be something bigger, greater, bold, and going after the change that is required for you to get to the place where you want to be, then you are still in the density of ego, blaming, and looking to the outside world for answers, and you will never, never get to your goals that way. It's impossible. Why? Because you're not taking responsibility and action. And achievers, those who reach their goals, take charge. They find solutions. They look at obstacles as puzzles and things to overcome, not things that stop them dead in their tracks. Now I want to share something with you. I see this constantly in my investment banking business, working with business owners. This was not an issue because I worked with people who think like super successful entrepreneurs, and even they had many, many challenges along the way. In fact, more than most people, because they're taking them on. But let me share something with you. When people go into these new things that they want to try to change their lives, they are convinced because the collective consciousness has allowed us to lie to each other, to allow the ego to control us first, to allow others to do whatever they want, to gain whatever they want. It's allowed. So therefore, there are people out there that will tell you things to get you to join memberships, to spend money on items, to buy certain things, making you think that that is the total solution and that everything from that day on is going to be absolutely wonderful, and that has solved the problem. Now, I think we all know that that really doesn't exist anywhere, yet we, in our dense state of mind, want to believe that there's some easy answer to all of our problems, and that there's a get-rich-quick scheme or a, quick fix out there, and that everything's going to change and we're going to be the new person. Well, if you're not there yet yourself, somebody else can't do it for you anyways. So let's start with that one. So if you're looking for somebody to give you that answer, that job, that opportunity, I deal with it a lot in the internet marketing. Oh, this is it, this is the solution, and as soon as it gets difficult, people are questioning themselves, what they're doing, because people will rather be in an uncomfortable situation that they know than in a comfortable situation that they're not familiar with, even if it's changing their lives. Even if they get through that, they will change their lives. That's how ridiculous the human species is. Because they're told in the general public by those who are making a lot of money and flourishing, told by those with no consciousness, no purpose in life other than for them to make a lot of money. They don't care who they mow over to get it. Will tell you these stories because they know that people want to hear it and that their egos feed off of that, and will open their pocketbooks even if they have nothing left in it and shell out their last penny for a dream that they believe they can get without putting any work in. And that is not how the world works. Now, I know you don't like hearing this because everybody wants to tune into my channel and do the 60-second manifestation. You are doing it. Doesn't take 60 seconds actually. It's every split second you're manifesting. You're doing it right now. Everybody thinks that there's this formula to create that, and if I do these little tricks and mantras and manifest, that'll show up. And it doesn't work that way. It is that deep, deep commitment to the change, willingness to do what it takes to make the change, sick of being where you are, so much so that you now are so ready to let it go that nothing over here that you need to do is worse than what you're doing here that keeps you miserable. And you know that if you don't make some kind of a change and put that work in, which is the journey, that's the growing, that's the learning. The stuff we get at the end of the journey is the bonus. But learning about yourself, sticking with something, not quitting, making it work, reaching out and getting help from other people. At some point, you're going to have to do that if you want to make the change. But people run back and they stay in these boxes. And they'll run out and say, okay, oh no, here's a quick solution. Yes, you'll solve my problem. Never looking within themselves, never relying on themselves, never being responsible for what's happening in their lives. So I just want you to understand that you are always fully in control. Your reality is yours to have anytime you want. And if something's not working, you damn well better find a solution. If you want that life, if you want to be in that situation where you're not struggling anymore. And that means going within, taking responsibility, meditating and clearing out the negative vibes and thoughts, because we all carry that stuff with us. It's part of the collective consciousness, along with the false dreams that people sell because everybody's so gullible. They want to believe that somebody's going to give them the winning lottery ticket. Trust me, those people are keeping those lottery tickets, but they'll sell you every other loser just to get you, to help their life be cushy, because they don't have a conscience. They're in a dense place. When you go for something you want, no matter how scary it is, no matter how uncomfortable it is to learn something new, to do something that you want to achieve, but it's going to be difficult. I know a lot of you guys work 2 jobs. Sometimes you're exhausted. You have to learn new things to get out of that situation of working hard and not making enough money. And then this other thing's difficult. When you know that you have got to stick to it, you've got to make a decision. I know it is difficult, and know that if this thing that you're going after, at the root of it, is a positive purpose, one that goes beyond just making a buck. So if somebody's trying to sell you something and everything revolves around just a transaction, there's no heart to it, there's no purpose, there's no soul to it, you got to really take a good hard second look. And that's why, and the reason why I use this is because there's so much of this internet stuff going on that just wants to get people to buy. And there's nothing behind it. Look at the products. Look who's making it. Look if they care about what they're selling and how they're selling it. What is their message? I don't care what product it is. This goes down to food and everything else. Are we using animals or the pain of others to sell something? Look at the root of everything. I'm telling you people right now, if we all made those decisions, our industries would change, our whole economic structure would change, because people would only be focused on the value, giving, purpose, and we would be so abundant because everything would be coming from a caring place. It would be about giving things that are of value and still be rewarded. You still need to get paid for things. You still have to pay your bills and put food on the table for your families, and you can do that and then some when you have a strong, positive purpose. And when you know you're doing good, and when you do something, it is really something that somebody could use for a solution, and you are not responsible what they do with it. Right? You can lead the horse to the water, you can't make them drink. Don't be responsible for everybody trying to fix everybody. I'm talking about saying, what is my purpose? What's behind my giving, my job, my whatever career, and what I'm going after? And are those people that I'm working with, those people that are giving me that service or training or that job or whatever it is, what is their motivation? And do they really care about their employees or what they're giving to the public? And if you look at the core of that, if that heart is there, if compassion is there, if there is, you know who's a good example? Starbucks CEO. That guy really gives a hoot. That's a guy who cared about his employees, who gives them medical benefits and all kinds of bonuses. He does all kinds of positive things. He's not responsible for their careers. If they want to be baristas the rest of their life and they're happy, that's cool. But he gives the people that choose to be in that situation, whether it's temporary or not, a chance to flourish in that position. And he gets people together and they talk and they care about the people that come in there. And yes, Starbucks does extremely well, but they were in trouble there for a while. You know why? They pulled back from that heart. And then he had to step in again. This one man stepped in again. And he put that heart back in. And all of a sudden, it started beating. And you can do the same thing. Are you staying in a situation because every time you try something, it's the get rich quick, and you are afraid that you're going to have to do something to work, and it gets uncomfortable and you run back to familiar mediocrity? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. If you spend your life looking for that golden ring, where there's no difficulty, no challenges, no nothing that goes along with that, it doesn't exist. And you know what's funny? We all know this. Yet we still believe it when somebody puts it in front of us. Because we don't want to live the journey. We're trying to get out of the journey. We're just trying to get to that final material place. And I'm going to tell you something. When you get there, it's not the solution. You're going to realize, that was that journey. Wow, I did it. It was fabulous. And at the time, yeah, maybe it was painful. There was some struggles. I became a totally different person. I expanded. And why am I sharing this? Because I went through this. I could have stayed as an investment banker. I could have pursued another finance position. I had opportunities. I decided to pursue something that was rooted in my heart, my beliefs, feeling right, feeling good, but was difficult because it's always going to be a challenge. I'm telling you right now, get ready. It will always be a challenge. So ask yourself, what do you really want to do with your life? Are you willing to put in the work? It will take work, and when you're committed to that, when you get into that tough spot and you go, gosh, what am I doing? I'm working, I'm exhausted, I don't understand this stuff, I'm learning new things, or whatever it is you're having to do to get there. You'll tell yourself, listen, you want this, you can do this is temporary. When you get past this, you're going to feel so incredible because you achieved something, not just learning that one thing. You as a human being are expanding. You're pushing yourself to your unlimited capabilities and understanding that you can go there and it works and you can achieve those goals and you can do things you thought you never could. If you're willing to go there, I guarantee you one thing. If you don't push past, if you don't go into that zone and accept the fact that there are going to be challenges in the things that you really want, that to change your life, you're going to have to do certain things. If you don't do that and you stay where you are, and you're not happy with where you are, that's going to be a very sad day when you take your last breath. And you'll know it. In that split second, you're going to realize, you'll have all the answers to the universe, and you'll realize the fear was nothing, and that everything's just a fleeting moment, and that you could have done some incredible things and expanded, not just getting that thing you want, but becoming that expansive person, and new doors are going to open. When I quit investment banking, I really didn't know what I was going to go to. I really didn't. I wrote the book. It's a movie. It's called The Rooftop Christmas Tree. Actually, this year it just showed in Great Britain a couple days ago. It showed here in the United States on television. It's now available throughout the world. My book is available. I've written 3 of them. Yes, go buy it. It's an inspiring, I write inspiring stories. I call it the Miracle Series. I want my messages to be positive ones. I want my messages to be positive ones. If you're going to put effort into something, what are you contributing to the world? It doesn't always have to be something woo-woo. You can entertain people and make them laugh. That brings joy to the world too. But I didn't know what that path was going to look like. I was okay with going down it and not knowing, because I knew that by me taking that big leap of faith, things would line up. And now I never in a million years would have thought I'd be sitting here talking to you. I never thought in a million years I'd be putting programs together, that courses for people to change their lives, and planning events, live events. Never in a million years did I expect that. And because I clicked on an ad to learn internet marketing and went through with it, and went through the agony of learning some things that I'm not familiar with, I was able to accomplish some huge goals and change my life. And life will continue to be with challenges. Even when you get to those places, there will be more challenges. People that gain large amounts of money, they earn it, they get there, life is wonderful. They get more and more challenges too. It doesn't stop, but at least you're going down the pathway that you're choosing. And it may change, you may change your mind along the way, but at least you're moving forward. So many of you are getting sick, that's why. You're stagnant. The body isn't meant to sit there and decay while you're stressed out and sad. I'm going to make sure this is on. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. If you can get in your head that there is no get-rich-quick scheme that is real, that's not coming from a good place, because anybody offering that will tell you that there's going to be a transformation in you that happens along the way that will challenge you. And that if you're willing to do that, if they're there to help you, that's where you want to be. If somebody's selling you a bill of goods, you've got to ask yourself why you don't want to expand you. Why you're constantly looking for that thing to change your life. You're the one that got yourself into the current situation to begin with. You need to learn how to get out of it. You need to be the one that makes that change. You need to be the one that rewires your brain, that stops believing the stuff you've been believing, that creates a new story and goes after it and doesn't stop until you get it. And stops listening to the naysayers who tell you shouldn't be doing certain things and that you should be doing things traditionally in this world and it's not working. How do I know? I wasn't happy in it. No one's happy in the traditional world that isn't doing something that comes from their heart. I know people in the medical field, in the law, attorneys, in the legal field, in some super high places that are miserable because they're just having to work their tail off. And what they used to love is not fun anymore. So even if they're going after their passions, if you look at how you're living your life and you don't like it, you can make a change, and you have to decide what it is and stick to it and go make it happen. This is what you came here for, and you will expand and be a new person and a joyful one, and you're going to be empowered and powerful and strong because of it, and you're going to feel that. And there's going to be a pride, not in an egotistical way, but one that says, oh, I broke through those limits, the I can't do this, the doubts, the lack of faith. You will always be taken care of. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You know, I go down this road and I'm taking on a lot. I'm taking on a lot. I've got multiple businesses going right now, and all of them do positive things. All of them contribute in a positive way, and the way we're presenting them is the most positive thing to help people change their lives, to improve businesses, their situations, but everybody has to make that decision themselves on how they use these tools or whatever we're presenting. You can only just do your best and present what's positive and good. So if you're working for a chemicals company or you're doing something that's bad for the planet, take a good hard look at that. There are other ways. And when people stop doing those jobs and stop doing those businesses that just take from people, when there's nobody to support those, they will find another way that's more positive. We're going to put them out of business just because we're choosing compassion and we're choosing what we know is what we're in alignment with. And that's how we'll start changing the world. Don't think that you don't hold that power. You do. One person sitting here has managed to change people's lives. Why? Because one day, if somebody thinks differently, their reality now switched into something else. Instead of going down this path, they're going to go down this path. Even if it's one little change that I made by just sharing something, a thought, a new idea with somebody, a new way of looking at things, raising their frequency, giving them the opportunity, because I don't do anything. I just offer it. Stop looking for the get rich quick. Look at the heart and the message of what you're going into and ask yourself what is in your heart and your message when you're going into it. And what are your intentions? And if they're just to get the stuff, then you've got to start working on that, because that's not going to get you to where you need to be. Where's that? Joy, total abundance, total health, wealth, love, euphoria like you've never felt before, because everything's going to be in alignment and you're going to connect to the highest frequency. Everything's going to connect to you that is good and beautiful, and opportunities will flow, and then you'll find directions and things to do in your life that you never dreamed of. I never dreamed I would be doing this. Internet marketer, For me, that's helping people find a different way to get out of their situations, to spend more time with their families. And yes, they have to put the work in. And herein lies the challenge. Are you willing to put the work in, no matter what you're going into, to make that change? To go to a better, higher place? To create. These internet marketing members, they are able to create whatever they want. We give them the tools and the training and 100% support, but they still have to do the work. And that's the best part. Nobody tells them what they have to create. We share with them the fact that now they can express themselves whatever way they want. Do they want to help people with health or fitness or products that are, holistic? Do they want to sell stuff to moms for their babies that's really good for them, organic and healthy? So much that you could do. And the tools are all out there for you. So you get to decide. And I'm sorry to tell you, you can chase that get rich quick life all you want. Call me when you find it. You are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. You are a miracle worker, and there's nothing that you can't do. Nothing that you can't do. But at the core of everything that's truly joyful comes responsibility and getting out of our own ego to pursue that which we are, and that's perfect. Light and love, unconditional love. That's what you're getting at all times. Never doubt that. No judgment. There is no judgment. There's only love. I promise you that. Namaste.